I told you guys I'd be doing a painting video, and god damn it, I'm gonna do it. No, we're back. Um, I'm back to my roots. We're doing late night painting videos. I'm gonna be doing some Marvel Crisis Protocol, guys. We're gonna get this Wolverine painted up. I need to. Oh, geez, I'm gonna start punching cameras because that makes sense, right? You guys like when I destroy cameras. Yeah, interesting. I'm gonna go back. There we are. Nice gallery here of all the stuff. So I talk about Marvel Crisis Protocol a lot. Oh, geez. Oh, they're doing a Sin figure? Oh my god. And Viper. Craziness ensued. Alright, let's take a look. So I talk about Marvel Crisis Protocol a lot. Which, of course, Marvel Crisis Protocol, it was created by Atomic Mass Games. It is a tabletop board game, a tabletop game featuring Marvel characters. Basically, you create small squads. You can build any team you want of heroes mixed with villains, or all heroes, all villains. For me, I was a sucker for this game because of the models themselves, because the models to me are pretty stellarly awesome, as you can see. And you guys can check a previous video that I did where I did a review of this model, but we're gonna actually paint this up today. And I'm gonna probably go a little bit more like classic. I'm gonna definitely go, I think, for the classic, like, 90s X-Men cartoon kind of value here. So I think without further ado, let's get into it. But of course, if you guys have questions, comments, or whatever about Marvel Crisis Protocol, I could definitely answer those questions as we are painting up this Wolverine figure. The detail of this Wolverine figure is amazing. I love this figure too because you have alternative. You actually could do an alternative Logan head, so you could do him with the mask or without the mask, which I thought was a really cool, nice feature. So I'm going to definitely rock that. And we're going to get this sucker painted up. But like I said, please, as always, with any live stream that we do, if you have questions, comments, or even, whether those are questions about the game, questions about painting in general, don't be a stranger. Don't hesitate. And tell me what you guys think. I always like to hear what people think as I'm painting. Because, it's always a good time. Oh, all right. So we're going to have that. All right. What is always a little tricky. That's okay. Because black is what we're going to put over this. So if I screw this up, and actually, yep, I already did, because that's black. I was trying not to paint it in yellow. Actually, it might be easier to just paint the whole thing in yellow now, and then just overlay the black onto it. That, what I have started to do with the with contrast paints, is I'm actually getting a little bit more into layering. Where I'm actually just layering in color that I know I could just paint over with a darker color. So I've said it a couple of times when we painted, but the way that these paints are designed, they're designed to go from light to dark. So what I've started to do is just layer my lighter color onto the model. And then what'll happen is, so like for instance, for all you folks that don't know Wolverine's kind of classic 90s look, or classic Wolverine, he's got yellow and then those triangles that you see, that you can now see a better outline of, those are actually black on his costume, and then those shoulder pads are going to be blue. So now I'm currently using GW contrast paints. I'm using their what is it called? It is called Iondan Yellow. There's a current color. Oh. I'm gonna eat paintbrushes too. Yeah, so that's what I'm using for the base yellow. Because I find that the contrast paints do really, really well with the superheroes. I think it has to do with the fact that a lot of the contrast paints are very high pop colors, so they tend to look real good. And then what also is nice about the Marvel Crisis Protocol models is that the sculptors have done such a beautiful job really giving you all the angles and dimensions of the characters. So the contrast really is helpful to pick up a lot of the definition, muscular forms of the actual characters. So, you know, most of the time when I'm doing stuff with contrast, I literally have to do, you know, not even one pass with it, and I can get a lot of the definition and stuff that I need done on that character. Because you can see already, you know, I'll definitely probably do a little bit more touching up, but we're already getting a really nice base coat. Oh wait, there's an error in this sculpt. Huh. There's an error in the sculpt. Alright, I'm gonna have to make it work. Oh, that shouldn't work like that. Oh, they errored it. They didn't actually put a line for his That's interesting. So they sculpted it on the front, but they did not sculpt it on the back because he shouldn't just have regular pants. Ah. Interesting. Okay. So we'll have to deal with that. I'm gonna have to go back and do some free painting. So I'm gonna have to freehand that. We'll see how that looks. It may or may not look good. We may run into a problem. Because I painted it yellow instinctually, but like, yeah, it's gonna have to basically let's just do it now. I'm gonna have to go in there and paint some blue. The blue is pretty dark, so I think it'll overtake the yellow, but let's see. And like I said, guys, if you have questions or comments, please don't hesitate to throw those up. I can totally see them. So we may get like a green situation. I don't know. I might have to do white on this. Yeah, so what I'm basically doing... We're going to see how that dries, but... Yeah, you guys can sort of see it, right? It's already starting to mix like green. I'm doing this because it might make my time a little bit easier when I go, because I did it when it was wet, so I'm going to see if we put another coat of blue, if it'll look better, but I don't think it's going to look better. Shoot. I may have to just whiten it, but now at least I gave myself an idea of where it should be. But it was a good find because they definitely sculpted one side to have the blue, and then they didn't sculpt the other side too. I'm just gonna go back over it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to redo that in white. But now at least it looks more uniformed. Let me do a smaller brush because that's too big to go in that area. Sorry guys, I know I'm doing it off camera. I'm just trying to get it to the point where I'm going to be happy with it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to do a little bit of touching up on that, but now at least it looks more realistic to what it should look. The back color is definitely not what it should be, but I'll work with that and get it on snuff. I'll get that in good shape. Want to become a famous, buy followers. Okay. There we go. Sorry guys, just had to take care of one thing. Alright. We had a little bot in there that was advertising. I always ban those folks when I see them. I don't mind if people, you know, if you ask me or whisper me beforehand and you want to pop something in the channel, if I believe in the cause, if I believe in what you're doing, or, you know, you're trying to get help, I'm usually a pretty nice guy, but I like to know what you're doing before you do it. So that is a good thing to know, just based off of other stuff. So again, we're painting up some Marvel Crisis Protocol figures for the Marvel Crisis Protocol game. And like I said, please let me know what you guys have to say. And we just discovered this model, so for any of you guys that will be purchasing this model and possibly painting it, we just discovered that it's actually printed wrong. Where they actually didn't actually build it with his underwear correct. His superhero undies. Which is kind of funny to say when you're painting Wolverine, since Wolverine particularly doesn't give a crap about anything and is pretty angry most of the time in the comic books because of his, you know, sort of animal instinct, if you will. But yeah, as you guys are watching, if you have questions about painting, questions about the game itself, you know, when people are watching us, you know, watching me paint or my painting videos, I'm always curious to know, like, what hobby projects you might have going on. You know, what's on your painting table at home. And I have to say, I really love the detail that Atomic Mass Games has put into these models. The sculptors they have over there are really, really good sculptors. Like, they are top-notch cool. And I think they do an amazing job for the most part. But I think it's kind of funny that the Wolverine one had a little bit of an error in it, which I think is kind of funny. Because they do not indicate or specify kind of, again, his superhero tights. But I took it upon myself to approximate them. So, you know, you get a pretty good amount there. But I may have to do some editing. And this Wolverine also came with Sabretooth. It was a 2-pack, which is another thing I really like about them, because for like $20 you're getting two, you know, by $20-$30 most of the time you're getting 2 models in a box. And you know, because it is a superhero Marvel game, you're getting you know, I say it to everybody else. It's unlike, you know, your Warhammer or other types of games, because you're getting all specific single characters. So it means the sculpts for these characters have to be really good. Which is pretty awesome. So they do a really, really nice job. I don't know why. It's funny. I've been reading X-Men comic books for a long time. And I don't know why my brain just continues to not want to remember how Wolverine's costume is. Like, it's almost like you guys are going to be able to take my my geek card away, because I just keep forgetting what his costume is. Now, I said it at the beginning of the stream, but I've chosen to go with his more traditional, you know, 90s look. So I'm not going with like his brown costume, or some of his more like first time. Although the sculpt is definitely his more current costume. So if you've been reading, you know, House of X, Powers of X, and the more current comics, which, funny enough, in the current comics, depending on what you've been reading, you know, Wolverine actually, there was a point where Wolverine actually perished in the comics. So we got different people being Wolverine, if you were not aware of that. So just getting a nice little And of course, if you guys want to talk comic stuff, we're obviously painting comic characters. Really big week for Marvel, because we will get, of course, Disney Plus, Winter Soldier and Falcon, which I'm very excited about. Almost knocked down my black. I think the black is working. I may have to wait a little bit longer. In fact, I may do that. I may wait for the black, but you guys can now see how that was supposed to look. I may wait for the black, because to get the black correct, if I get any of it on where I'm going to put the darker blue on the pads, it's going to get a little tricky. Oh, okay, that actually worked out well. And I will definitely try in this video, guys, to be a little bit more mindful and cautious of where I'm putting the model in relation to the camera. I apologize, in some of the other videos I was a little all over the place with that, because I recently had to sort of reset up my rig here. So I moved everything around and it kind of threw my spacing off when I was painting. So I do apologize for that. All right, you know what? I was going to wait on the black, but I think the yellow is pretty dry. All right, so then all of that is going to be black. And like I said, if you guys have questions about painting, you have questions about the game itself, don't hesitate to bring any of it to light. Nice. Yeah, it's a real subtle. It's a real subtle line for where that black starts. So you have they did a nice job with giving you some markers for it, but like it's pretty. You gotta be pretty nice and detailed there. So you guys can see me just kind of reworking that. And I'll go back in with the yellow once I have that a little bit more under control. I think I'm going to switch over to the blue. I'm going to let the yellow just dry a little bit more before, oh, sorry guys, before I do more of the black. I'm going to wait on the black. Although the little bit I did already does look really good. And if you guys are liking what you're seeing and want to see more of what we're going to be doing, because I have quite a lot of Marvel Crisis Protocol guys to paint. I still have more X-Men characters to build. I still have Ant-Man and the Wasp. I still have Doctor Strange, which you can see peering in the back. So if you are interested in learning more about the game, or learning more about the mechanics of it, please let me know. I know I said that this was going to be a painting video where we did Marvel Crisis Protocol and Wolverine. I may also do some Riot Quest models as like little breathers from the Marvel ones, especially if we run into some more issues where I have to wait for them. You know, like I was just waiting here. I got to wait for certain aspects to dry. I may switch off to a different model. Now, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do this Wolverine with a little bit of extra oomph. I don't know if I want to have this Wolverine have a little bit of blood on his claws. I might actually do some blood effects on his claws just to make him a little bit more edgy. Now, as I was saying, for you folks out there that might not be familiar with the game, with this kit, you did also get a non-masked Wolverine, so you could just have him, you know, without his cowl on. Which, for folks that are big Wolverine fans, you might remember in the comic books, there are quite a lot of times where he, especially because of his brutality, will in fact not have his mask on, will not have his garb on. He can, especially if he was in a story where he's in the wilderness or, you know, fighting Sabretooth, which you do get Sabretooth with him as well. So at some point we'll be painting him up. I'm just trying to get these very tiny edges, which normally when I do this, I might use my magnifiers, but I've been doing a lot of model painting recently, so I don't want to say, it's a weird way to say it, but my eyes are a little bit more kind of in tune, I guess is the way to put it. Let's just get one thing out. Oh, okay, luckily there's nothing in the cup. Hooray. Thought for a minute I just dropped a cup of water on the floor, which would have been bad. Might as well get this out of the way, because we know his claws are going to be, that I'm going to do his claws in silver. Okay, I see you guys are popping in and out, so if you are watching and you have any criticism on either the video, the audio, or just other aspects of it, please don't hesitate to let me know. I always appreciate that, especially if we're having, because sometimes we'll have audio issues or we'll have video issues, and I won't even know that we're having them because I'm trying to look at the preview of the video while we're going. You know, it happens. Just gonna do the outside claws. I'll wait to do those once I get the gloves done. And I promise tomorrow I will 100% do some, we'll do some GW, some Games Workshop stuff, and I will do some Mantic Games stuff, because you know, I know that Marvel Crisis Protocol, although I love the game, it's a relative, you know, Atomic Mass Games is a little bit of a newer model company. They, you know, unlike Mantic or even GW, they only make the one game. They only make Marvel Crisis Protocol. So if you're not a Marvel fan, you might not know these guys. Personally, I mean, I say it all the time when I'm doing these videos, but even if you're not like looking to play the game, I think the models are just pretty awesome. So if you just want to own like really awesome models of comic book stuff, they're a perfect company to do that with. So, you know, it is definitely, they are definitely a good company to jump into for that. Water this down a little bit, because I find when I water it down, I get a better, skin tone. Alright, so we got a little bit of skin tone in there. Now, obviously, because he has a cowl on, we're not going to see a lot of his face, so. Now, there's a couple of different ways to go about the eyes on this model. Alright, so I did a little bit in the mouth. Yeah. So we have a little bit more expression. You guys will see it when you do the eyes and the mouth and you start to do those things. I think they left them white, which I was going to say in the... Yeah, they did leave it. Oh, they went black for the mouth. Okay. I went for something different there. All right, so in order for this to play the right way, I may have to. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see how this works. It may work for him. Usually my So what I'm doing is I'm just being really gentle. Yeah, for this I may have to jump in with the spectacles. Yeah, I think I'm going to need them. I don't know what it is about the scale of some of the Marvel Crisis Protocol guys, but their eyes in particular are very, very hard to do without magnifying. Or at least I find them hard to do. Gotta pull that. Okay, no, it looks good. Once you get, I'll probably have to go over this with black again. But once you get it in there and you get that eye shown, it actually does look good. Yeah, now I can be a little bit more specific with how I'm doing this. Alright. Yeah, it does play the right way. Okay, so we're going to leave it white. That's very unique. I don't usually get the ability to do what I'm doing right now. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to magnify my own vision. And get you guys a good angle to see. Wow. Alright, I may still have to go in there. No, I don't think I'm going to have to. Wow. That's a real tight pass. Oof. The way that is. Wow. It looks real good, though. It looks real good, though. Gonna keep using them because it's such a small area that I'm painting that I want to make sure, and I'm going to use this probably for those lines too that I have to do, just because I'm sorry, guys. I hope I didn't... Oh, wow. That really does look good. Wow. That looks so amazing once you get those... Once you get the cowl done, holy crap, he looks good. Whoa. Sorry, guys. This is a little bit of a trick because... Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to the other one. What do you guys think? No, I guess it looks like he's in mid-open. I actually like that. I may leave the eyes that way. All right, one thing I do notice is I gotta go in. Alright, so I'm just trying to get those. Yeah, there's very subtle little differences there, but it looks, ooh, that looks real good. I tell it to people all the time. The minute you do the eyes, or you have some sort of plan for the eyes, the model immediately starts to look good. All right, I have a plan for in there, something that we're gonna do to make that a little bit better. Okay. And like I said, please let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, comments, you know, I say it all the time, I love to know what you're putting on your painting table, what's on your docket for hobbying. You know, what do you, is there something you're trying to get done? And I always say, when it comes to the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff, you know, even if you guys want to just talk comics, you know, you know, we're painting up Wolverine tonight, so, you know, do you have a favorite X-Men character? Do you have a favorite X-Men story? You know, are you what's your thoughts on the MCU? You know, what are you, obviously that's the big ticket item right now. A lot of people are throwing a lot of theories out there. About possible, you know, X-Men, things like that. You know, what are your thoughts on that? It's going to get... Just getting all of that tidied up. Because the less seams we have, the better it's going to look. Wow. I'm actually painting him relatively quicker than I thought I would. But you know what? I know why I'm probably painting him a little quicker. Wolverine was one of my favorite X-Men. I always loved Wolverine as a kid. Alright, I put way too much paint on there. Shit. Sorry guys, I'm trying to give you as good of an angle as I can. But the issue I'm having is that when I'm trying to get the right angles for some of this, because I have the magnifiers on, I'm trying to put it like where I could see it with the magnifier, so I'm pushing it a tiny bit over when I do that. So these stripes are a little bit more intriguingly, they're harder to do than I originally thought. I mean, they give you a groove, so you can't really screw them up, but and this technique of what we did, which was laying down the yellow first and then coming in with the darker colors, it actually has helped me a little bit as a painter, because sometimes it's hard when the model is all primed in white to actually see where the details are. But doing it this way, I actually get to those details a little quicker. I also should probably be using those a lot more often than I do. But I'm going to let that model dry a little bit. We're going to focus on the base really quick. And then I'll come in and do those gloves and a few other, the belt. But we've only been working on him for 42 minutes, and he already looks pretty damn good. And again, that was just a couple of passes. I'll do a few things just to jazz him up a little bit. I have to run some stuff by the teeth. I'm going to do a couple of things to make him look a little bit better, but I wanted to get some of the... I wanted to spend some time now just getting the sidewalk part done. I also like that this company gives you molded bases. So they always give you molded bases with every character. And I like that they also give you extra bases, which is cool because if you are, if you want to do maybe other characters, or you want to do some model bashing and like make some other stuff, it allows you to have the ability to do that. And it's very cool too because they're modern setting bases, which you don't find a lot. Like, if you go online, I mean, you definitely can find them because obviously, like, Games Workshop Warhammer 40K is a big, big, you know, community, and there are definitely independent folks that make bases for that game. And because it's set in a more modern setting, you do find that you get modern bases and modern stuff. Sorry, I'm just making sure that my paints are starting to close. And like I said, if you guys are watching, don't be shy. Let us know what's on your mind. I mean, I can keep talking. I definitely talk. But it's always more fun when you guys contribute and talk. Or ask questions. Especially if you guys have questions about painting or questions about model or hobbying. I can't tell you how many people, you know, I've helped with similar questions, comments. You know, people have asked me about their armies, about things they're painting, and you know, I've been able to really help them, and it's always fun when I do that. I do this to share my art with people and to share, you know, my vision and how I do things. But you know, and to give people, especially nowadays, something kind of entertaining to watch, hopefully. But you guys can see where we've gotten to so far. Pretty damn good. I mean, those eyes are working. It really looks good. Like, and you know, I know I'm obvious. You know, I consider myself a pretty decent painter, and good painter. But I think the model's doing a lot more of the work. So I want to like give Atomic Mass and their model designers like the due credit, because I think. Yeah, I guess that is the more classic. I didn't realize this belt was red. But yeah, that is true. When it's in the more classic, like 90s style, it is more red. Yeah, it's red to dark. Okay, that could have been bad. So, good rule of thumb when you're using contrast, get in the habit of closing all your paints. I have a tendency to jump around a lot when I paint. And there is good and bad things about that strategy. Now, typically the reason I do it is so that, similar to what was happening to me with the blue that I kind of rushed doing on the backside to fix the sculpt error. You know, if you hold off doing colors in different orders, you won't ever go into a color that's already wet. Now, sometimes you do want to go into a color that's wet because you could do what's called wet mixing. Yeah, because I'm going to need these because I can't really see that belt. That belt is a pretty... Yeah, so I do it this way. The idea is that I'm basically doing each color separately. So the concept there is that by the time I'm done with one color, the other colors will have dried. And then I can go back and touch that up. So Sorry guys for the focusing. And I should have mentioned I'm using Blood Angel Red. As far as the black, there is actually only one black contrast paint, so there's not multiple ones to go over for what I'm using there. Again, I'm sorry if that was off camera. Wow. That's looking super, super dope. Look at how awesome that looks. And it's crazy how, again, just little, it's very little work. I mean, like, and I find that to be true. And I think it's kind of it's kind of a quick, you know, it is kind of a shortcut with the Marvel Crisis Protocol models. I think the contrast paints just work very well. And I think it goes a lot with what I was saying before, which is it has to do with, I don't know why my brain didn't think that those were blue. It goes back to what I was saying with the, it goes back to what I was saying about the model. The model is doing a lot more of the work. Because the sculptors who sculpt this stuff, you can tell a couple of things about them. So one, I was going to say, you can tell, this is true of everybody at this company. They are 100% comic book fans. Because they really take the time to make sure that they're getting the characters right. Like, they are making sure that they're getting the molds, the poses, like, all of that stuff unbelievably right. Because, like, for instance, when you look at me doing this model, that's part of why the contrast works so well, because the sculpt underneath is so well done that the paint really finds those edges real well and just really gets all that muscle tone and gets all that stuff. So they are, like, super duper nice. Oops. All right, so late night painting. I don't know if we're going to do these videos anymore because we're not getting that many people. Now, it also might be the fact that I'm doing Marvel Crisis Protocol, which I think has to do with it. I think we get a bigger draw when we do... I don't know. You know, I always tell you guys at the end of the videos. Oh, sorry. You know, if you please let me know via comments. You know what your thoughts are, and if you'd like to see more of it, because you know I think we definitely have some people that enjoy it, but others may not. I don't know. And it is true for folks that are Twitch hardcore guys. Unfortunately, Twitch does not have a channel for the company's product that I am reviewing. They do have a Warhammer channel, but they do not have a... And again, I think that's because they are, in fact, a smaller model. They are a smaller gaming company, so probably they have not created one. Because there's maybe not as many people doing the content that I am doing on it. I don't know. Now, I'm going to have to do a variation of a highlight for him. I could tell you that already. So I will work on a highlight for these hands and for different, because this blue, that the contrast blue that I'm using, which is basically for folks that play 40K, this is the equivalent of what you would use to paint Space Marines. It's a very dark blue, so I'll definitely come in with something to give us some more definition on those hands, because right now it's just bleeding out those hands. So I will come in with something to make that a little bit of a better fit. Oh, sorry, I know that wasn't on camera. But very, very, so far, extremely cool. Like, I really like, damn. Oh, man. The characters that I love, like, and I know this is going to happen with Doctor Strange, too, because, like, Doctor Strange is, like, a number 1 character of mine. Like, if it's a character I love, man, oh, it's got the black, that's right. I forgot in the costume it's like that. So, we got to do a black detail in there. Oh, that's going to be a pain in the butt. I think. Yeah, that's crazy. That's wicked good, though. He really, the model just looks really nice. Cannot wait to play him in the game. And we are very, very close for me to do battle reports for you guys on this. So that's why if you can bear with me. Well, we're gonna find out if I did a bad job. Oh, I think I did. I'm pretty sure. Yep, I gotta go higher with the glove, I think. I'm just gonna paint all. Yeah, because if you look, there's a little bit more of a seam. All right, that's okay. That's why it's nice to paint, and then see we can paint up to that seam. So I missed the glove by just a little bit. Oh, that looks so good. I can't believe how just getting that black cowl done and keeping those eyes white like so works for this model. It looks so good. He just looks angry. You know, he looks the way he's supposed to. He looks like angry Wolverine, which is, you know, what Wolverine is supposed to look like. And I'm going to do some more stuff to, like, emphasize this muscle tone and some other things. So we'll get there. But so far, again, this is just a couple of passes of contrast paint. You know, a little bit of technique here and there. Because I tell people all the time, when they use contrast, you got to be mindful of how it's pooling and how it's doing stuff. So, like here, that's a good example. Like, that pooled a little too much. So we're going to do some things to fix all of that and to make it a little bit more. But that's pretty damn good. Again, just for preliminary. What time is it? Okay. Actually, I thought I was gonna have to do a little bit of yeah, so I'm just tidying it up. And as you go, you can tidy up those little areas. But pretty good. And for folks that weren't here the last time, just so you guys could see how our, and you should go back and check these videos out, our ebony maw turned out. So that was the last model that we painted before Wolverine. And then prior to that, you guys can see how our Notice the problem with him. Ooh, that was a big miss. Go in there. Just found an undertone. That was not painted correctly. Yeah, so you guys can see. While we're at it, I'm just going to do one more thing. Again, this goes back to what I was talking about, which is the technique that we're going to use on Wolverine to get some of these muscle tones to show up. So we'll go back in there and emphasize some of those muscle tones with an introduction of a darker color, so that just going back over it, sorry guys for the pat, going over it with the color again just to darken it. But that's our generals, which I thought they came out very, very nice. That was the prior to. You can go back and watch the other videos that I did to see how those paints turned out. But I'm pretty happy with that so far. In fact, I can start doing some of what I was talking about. So basically what we're going to go in and do is with the contrast paints, there's this concept or idea of letting them pool. And when you do that, what you can start to do is create muscle definition, because what you've done is we've let the paint dry and then we just go back in and create that pooling, so we can bring out all the muscle tone on Wolverine. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it also look darker. So you can see just by going over this again, and what's also good about this is you can start to go back into areas and just like color in areas. But you can see just by going back into that, it's creating, it's going to create muscle tone, and it's going to bring that definition back. Now you want to be careful where you're introducing the pooling, how you're introducing it. And because remember, the pooling is like shadowing, so you want to make that pooling, make sense. You don't want it to come off as too, but you can see like all of that muscle tone. And that's why I said that the Marvel Crisis Protocol models, it's a lot of the model that's also like shining through and doing like a lot of work, because they've created these really awesome models with all of this really amazing structure, that if you just really layer the paint the right way and really go in there, you can start bringing all that muscle out. So you can see this visceral muscle, just nice look to them. And that's just by going back over and bringing that yellow back in and letting it pool in the right areas. So it lets you go back in and basically do seams. And Now we're going to do a couple of other little tiny things. Just to fill that gap. And I've also said this for years as well, which is, you know, when you guys are, you know, one of the things that, of course, is tough about the contrast paints, you have to prime it in white. And, you know, I tell people all the time when they're learning how to paint, white is a tough thing, because when you have to prime a model... Oh, that's going to pull too much. No. Get that. Let's get that under control. Sorry. So yeah, with white's a tough one because white shows all your mistakes. So you have to be really, really mindful with white. Now, this is a great example of where pooling is going to save us. So like in areas like this, sometimes the pooling will work. I may have to go in there with a different color. We might have to troubleshoot that a little bit. But for right now, looks pretty damn good. Obviously, I haven't done the boots. And like I said, I'm definitely going to do a lighter blue, like a mix of a blue. Just to bring some highlights to his actual, like, hands. Just so we can paint a little bit of light on there so it looks a little bit more interesting. And this is probably gonna be the last thing we do, and then I'm gonna call it quits for tonight, and we'll be back, like I said, tomorrow. I think we might go with the black in the mouth. I know that they did black. I tried doing the purple and it didn't really work. So let's get that black. And then I think we're gonna do the I think the black looks a lot better. This might be dodgy to try to do this now, but let's see if I can get it done. Yeah, it took it, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait for that black to dry. But basically what I want to do is that lip, the lip that's there, I want that to be purple. And then I made the teeth a little bit off-white. But I think that that does look a lot better. I think the black looks better than the purple did. Although now it looks like kind of a faded purple with black in it. Oh. Well then, I just screwed that up. Ah. So I got to use white to do a correction, essentially. All right, so that I will need that. That's annoying. All right, well, I guess that kind of works. I mean, now it looks like he's got kind of blood down his mouth, but that sort of works. Let me just do a light. This is gonna. I may have to do something. This is what happens to me. I'll get something I really like, and then I'll... Sorry, guys. I know I'm like not showing you what I'm doing, which is also not a good thing. But it's like for the detail, intricate stuff like that, like I said, I'm still getting used to holding the magnifier and getting it in the right spot for you guys. Okay. So I think that's where we're going to end it for right now. It doesn't look horrible. It sort of did what I wanted. I mean, I think it looks pretty damn good. Like I said, we're going to do some other stuff, and obviously I got to finish up the boots. We're going to finish with the hands. So we're going to do a couple of things to him to make him look a little bit more interesting and get some more details into him. But I like where we're at already. I mean, like I said, these models are just amazing with the way that they naturally just look. And are just really, really cool. So, thank you guys for watching, as always. If you like what you saw, please consider following the channel and also signing up for notifications. That's how you're going to know when we're live. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to try to do two painting videos for you. We're going to do a Games Workshop video, and we're also going to do a Mantic Games video. So you're going to see a couple of different model companies and some stuff. Oddly enough, one's going to be another comic book thing, so I'm going to work on the Hellboy board game. We're going to paint the rest of the minis in that, or start moving ourselves towards getting those done, because I got some painted, but not all. And then we will jump into Blood Bowl for Games Workshop, which is a really fun game if you haven't checked that out. And I'll be painting some of those models, because I've started and then never finished them. So we're gonna go through some of my arsenal of that, or I may even go to my Giant Army for Age of Sigmar. I don't know what we'll paint, but I think Blood Bowl is going to be on the docket, because I have a lot of just not finished stuff that I have to just get done. And I want to get it off my painting table. So, all right. Well, thank you guys again for watching. As always, please check out the links below if you can. My website, my Patreon, and the tip/donation button is another monetary way to support the channel. Share this out to friends. Check out our YouTube, our Facebook, and all the others. You can also check links to some of the sponsors that I have. That monetary support is really helpful because that allows me to buy the models and things that I review, because at this point, I'd love to say that Atomic Mass Games is sending me models to review and paint. They are not. Maybe one day, but right now they're not. There are some companies and sponsors I have. I got to add some more to the channel, but please take a look at that. And as always, please stay safe, wash your hands, and please be safe. And please respect everybody on this planet, because without all of us working together, we're never going to solve the problems of tomorrow. As always, thank you guys. I will see you at the next video. Bye-bye. I'll see you soon.